All right, folks, Parallels 17 is finally out. Now, this is a big departure, according to Parallels themselves, from their previous versions. Even the 16.5 version, which I've been running and I tested on this channel before. Now, just before I run some tests here with Windows 11, and this is Windows 11 for ARM, by the way, I did test Windows 10 just recently, and there's a video down below. You can check that out if you want. And that was testing version 16.5 of Parallels versus 17. I wanted to see the speed differences in the startup time, the suspend time, and the memory consumption. And we're gonna do the exact same tests here, but with Windows 11, which is now in preview, and it's even more optimized for ARM. I don't know what kind of detailed optimizations they're doing, but supposedly it's better. But here's what Parallels is doing now for their version 17, okay? So there's a ton of marketing material here, up to 38% faster with Windows, Linux, and Mac OS Resume. We're gonna test that out, by the way. OpenGL graphics, 6 times faster. 25% faster 2D graphics in Windows. And that's just on all Mac computers, whether you have Intel or the M1 Apple Silicon chips. So that's great, big improvements there. But if you do have Apple Silicon, if you are running the M1 chip or newer ones, I don't know when you're watching this video, but supposedly there'll be newer ones soon, then it's gonna be even faster on that processor, up to 33% faster Windows 10, 20% faster Windows 10. That's not what I saw in my tests. So we're gonna check this out. There's also a bunch of other support. There's now new support for drag and drop, which is really cool. I've always had a problem with drag and dropping content between my virtual machine and my host machine, so that's really good. Advanced experience with support for USB devices, better control of disk space. So this is a huge improvement, right? Here's some pricing information. You can upgrade to perpetual license for 49 bucks, new subscribers for $79 per year, or a perpetual license for $99. By the way, if you are gonna check us out, there's a link down below. Use my link and I'll get a little bit to support this channel. It's an affiliate link. But Parallels does not sponsor this video, by the way, so this is just gonna be my own opinions here. Now, I liked what Parallels is doing, and they happen to be the only option right now if you are using Apple Silicon. So whatever they're doing is good. There's also a Forbes article that I just saw of a review, and it basically goes into the whole history of Parallels' relationship with Apple, how they had the first preview last year in 2020 at the Apple event when Apple Silicon was initially announced. So they've been working on this for a while. It seems like they just hopped right on it, but they've been at it. So it's not like VMware didn't have their chance to catch up here. They had plenty of time, but it seems like Parallels is the only one that's taking advantage of this time right now. So this article further goes on to say that, yeah, this improves Intel machines as well. Parallels running on an Intel Macs, but the biggest improvements are on the M1, and that's what I've got running over here. This is the Apple MacBook Air M1, 16 gigabytes of RAM. RAM is important in this case because we are going to be running virtual machines, and I've allocated 4 processors and 8 gigabytes of RAM to this. Let's do some timing, and I'm going to bring up the summary at the end of my previous tests with 16.5 running Windows 10, version 17 running Windows 10, and now version 17 running Windows 11. So I'm going to bring up my handy little timing device, and let's test this out. We're going to test the cold boot time first. So there's Windows 11. I'm going to hit the start button and the start button on my stopwatch at the same time. Let's go. All right, it's taking a little bit, huh? There we go, 13.56 seconds. So that's a little longer than I expected. We're gonna do this again, by the way, just to get an average. While we're here, we're gonna do a suspend, and let's see how long that takes. Wow, 2.64 seconds. That's pretty fast. Although, is it that much faster than the previous version? I don't know about that. This is the one that they're touting to be really fast now, right? Suspend and resume. And that's actually the function that I use most often. I suspend and resume my virtual machines a lot instead of cold booting all the time. All right, let's resume. And that's 3.8 seconds, not bad. And finally, we'll do a shutdown and see how long that takes. By the way, the virtual machine's shutdown menu from the actions menu doesn't work for me for some reason. So I need to do it from the virtual machine itself. So I'm gonna go here, Windows 11, and then the power button, and then I'm gonna do shutdown from here. And let's go. That's 4.36 seconds. Pretty good. Let's do that one more time because I'm not so sure about that cold boot time. It's supposed to be faster, but it doesn't look like it is right now. So I'm gonna boot it one more time. Let's see. I think that first time might have been a fluke. And there we go, 9 seconds. That looks a little bit better. Not that I'm trying to get this better, but I did see performance about 8 or 9 seconds previously, and that's why the 13 seconds threw me off. I think it might have something to do with the Windows update that's trying to happen. Now, since I do have this running right now, I do want to check the activity monitor in the host system and see what's going on over there. So Parallels Desktop is taking up 262 megabytes of RAM, and that seems to be a bit on the high side. I'm not sure what's causing that, why it's higher than previous. We'll do a comparison at the end. Now, the Windows 11 process itself is taking up 16.28 gigabytes, and you might ask, well, 16.28, there's only 16 physical on this machine. How could it be 16.28? Well, this number right here is an approximate number. It's not the actual physical RAM that's being used. As of macOS 10.9, Apple has gone a different direction in reporting these numbers. So the numbers that we really should pay attention to are memory pressure down here, which should be in green and low, and that's what it is right now, and the swap used. So the swap used should be close to 0. It's 35 megabytes here, which is as close to 0 as you can get. I actually have seen that be 0 before, but those are the numbers you really have to pay attention to here. If memory pressure is really high and your swap used is high, then you have a problem. Right now, it doesn't look like we have any problem. So the total memory used on the machine are 12.22 gigabytes right now. So we're good. By the way, this is also a Windows machine that's not running anything, is just the baseline. And that's the numbers I wanted to get. If you do want to see some other software being run on this virtual machine, maybe maxed out, maybe some heavy processes going on, let me know in the comments down below. And you'll also notice that I did install Steam on there and Wolfenstein 3D. Yes, I did want to test a game on it, even though I haven't played any games on the computer for many, many years, but I wanted to check it out. And let me tell you, the 3D game is pretty much unplayable on the machine. You can play it, but it's really choppy at some points, especially when there's a lot of graphics going on, a lot of action going on. So I would not recommend playing 3D games on it. It might be a different story with 2D games, and that's something I could test. If you have any 2D game suggestions, also let me know down below. Now let's check out CPU usage here. And you'll notice that Parallels is an Apple process, and so is Windows 11. And both of those are pretty negligible as far as CPU usage goes, because we have an idle machine. So I will write those down, but it's not really useful information, just to have a comparison point. All right, let's do another suspend and resume and get those numbers again, and then I'll summarize the whole thing. Okay, wow, that was 2.66 seconds. So this is really fast, folks. And let's do a resume. 3.77, and one final shutdown. Let's see how long that one takes. Right, that function doesn't work. I gotta do it through the Windows menu. So here we go, and shut down. Now that one took a little bit longer. Again, I think that may have something to do with the Windows update. So 5.61 seconds, I'll write it down anyway. And now I have some numbers to compare to the previous runs. I'll put that up on the screen right now. And you'll notice that the biggest difference here is the amount of memory that Parallels desktop software itself is using. Now it's not a huge amount, it's less than 100 megabytes. However, I do wonder what's accounting for that difference and why is that happening? Why is there such a big difference, relatively speaking? Not that it's a lot of memory usage, but it's just a big difference compared to the previous versions. So not sure what's happening there. Memory usage for the VM itself is about the same. CPU usage for the desktop application as well as the VM are about the same. Pretty negligible since it's an idle machine anyway. And the code startup time is what really sets this one apart, I think. Although it sets it apart mostly from version 16.5 to 17. There's not much of a difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11 here, I'd say. So those are about the same ballpark. And the numbers for suspend, resume, and shutdown are all about the same. So I don't see huge gains like they're reporting in their marketing material, but perhaps further testing is to be done. This is my first time hands-on with Windows 11 and Parallels 17. So I'll be doing some more tests. Let me know in the comments below if there's something specific related to Parallels and Windows 11 you'd like me to test. And here's another video that you might be interested related to Parallels 17. Thanks a lot, folks. Hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.